everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2! Righty-ho then, so in the last session, we did a couple of bits and bats around town and, threatened a few people. Well, threatened to turn their wolves into boots and, things of that nature. The kind, loving people that we are. So we finish off the session, resting up once again in the wild mare, and we have arisen bright and early because we have things to do today, important things, and we need to get cracking with them. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to finally make our way towards the Kahanga Palace in the Serpents Crown district to basically get the lowdown on the luminous Adra, those pillars that we are seeking, so that we can get back hot on the heels of Aothas. So that is our first task of the day. Now we've got to get to Pariki's Overlook and then onwards from there. And as tempting as it is to perhaps stop off at the luminous Adra bathhouse again whilst we're here, we shall resist the temptation. Before retiring for the evening, Fedoran updated his shopping list with all of the goodies that he wants. As you can quite see, it's getting rather extensive right now, and they are kind of in an order as to the priority that we're going to allocate to purchasing them. So the spyglass is the utmost priority. We were getting close to getting the 5,000, but then we suddenly kind of fell away as we've ended up spending money on stuff such as 4 Thunderers, although we did get a discount of course, and the Luminous Adra Bathhouse Extravaganza. Yeah, we've spent 2,000 there in the blink of an eye, so we're kind of still got a little bit more to go. But yeah, some figurines, quite high priorities for summons. Getting a load of the ingredients that we need to craft moderate healing and minor healing scrolls, because they're pretty cheap. Get the scrolls themselves also pretty cheap, so getting these up front be quite handy. Thieves Putty for additional mechanics and allure for Fedoran's, diplomatic charms if they need a boost. Quite handy. And then we start getting into the more expensive stuff. Fine battle axes for Nadog, and more summons, and that lovely crafted great sword, using our salvaged parts for a dare, and on and on. And Fedoran's epic grimoire of vaporous wizardry right at the bottom of the list. I mean,
now I've dreamed of this place.
What is he doing? It might be promoted. It depends how much money we've got, but it's about the benefits of the party over the benefits of oneself, you know? Okay, so as we have a bit of a morning stroll through the streets of Pariki's Overlook, just taking a quick glance at the manor here, in the off chance that, what's he called again? I've forgotten his name. Lengrath, right? Lengrath? Arkhamir. Yeah, they all sound the same to me, these archmages. Arkhamir. In the off chance that Arkhamir is home. Oh, hang on. Before we even get there, we didn't actually enter the Water Shapers Guild while we were here last time. Completely forgot. So, quick change of plan. We're going into there. Right now, in fact. Look at that. How awesome is that? It is something else.
Takehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
A guildmaster in fine robes stares down the sizable blue-skinned Amawa before her. Students observe the exchange in a loose circle, exchanging whispers.
Guildmaster, be reasonable.
He tosses his anemone-like hair, which glows faintly as each bulbous strand settles in place.
I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
He crosses his arms and raises one eyebrow. The murmurs of the crowd grow in volume.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
Yep, it's, just sit back and continue to observe here.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
Probably another one of their gods, right? Yeah. In spite of the obvious age difference, Tekehu raises an instructive finger to the Guildmaster. She flares her nostrils and takes a deep breath.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Yeah.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Cavorting at the brothel? Goodness me. She strides away, and the crowd disperses.
Ugh, insufferable.
He smooths his hair and turns to us with a raised brow.
Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection?
What a cocky guy. Oh, and look at that, he's having fun with created water fishes. Let's take a chew and the Guildmaster don't get along.
Kira, I bring art to the Guild of Water Shapers, but they do not tolerate expression here. What I am is to blame, I say.
Godlike?
Just so. Blessed and cursed at birth, I say. Water shaping is Ngati's gift to the Huana, and apparently I am too. Savior to the tribes.
Well, perhaps you should maybe just be a little bit grateful and perhaps a touch more humble. It's not befitting of oneself to be arrogant. His upper lip curls and he waves you off.
The only question is, do I return to my duties, or while away a few hours in the bathhouse?
Ooh. Should we get him into trouble? You should perhaps consider your responsibilities. Work before pleasures, I say.
The guild can wait until I am good and ready to return.
Is he actually a recruitable character? It could be. Or maybe just like a crewmate. Okay, but before we get to that question, couldn't help but notice he had potentially some business with the palace, and we are going there, so perhaps just trying to probe for a bit of further information while we can before we arrive. Like, is it open, for instance?
Kara, I sent the prince a missive and heard nothing back. He is a busy warrior in a time of peace, I say.
Well, we do have business there, and perhaps we can get to know him a bit better if he comes with us. Assess his suitability for perhaps accompanying us on our ship. I mean, having somebody with his talents would be pretty useful. Yeah. Being a watcher tends to open doors. Indeed it does.
A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook.
You're calling a freak?
What does a watcher do?
Well, I'm something of an intermediary between here and the in-between.
Ikera, just so.
He strokes his chin, nodding.
I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist.
He stirs his fingers through the air, drawing together droplets of moisture into an orb of water that floats over his palm.
My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy, to brew ink and sort parchment.
He lets they all fall to the ground and splash at his feet. If you can do tricks, we'll be fine. I cannot help but admit I am curious to see what you can do with your abilities. If you perform half as well as you talk, should be quite a spectacle.
The tide brings unexpected gifts. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears.
Fedoran taken aback.
And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him.
Corpse? I'm looking pretty good for a corpse, wouldn't you say?
What will you do when you catch up to this walking god?
I know one thing. He needs to answer for his actions. Fedoran's face contorting and twisting as he thinks once again about all he's lost.
As do many mortals in the Deadfire. It seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
No one's ever called me beautiful before.
Oh, she got somebody else to start swooning over. Goodness me.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way.
I think he's a companion, you know.
A fair warning, Captain. Ingati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion.
Well, I look forward to learning all about it in due course. We can't sit here conflabbing all day about your extensive talents, so, yes, we'll get to that in due course. Let you settle down first, you know?
Akara, I look forward to teaching you. I say you will learn, in time.
He winks, his eyes suddenly as dark as beads have polished onyx. Oh, God! So he is a companion that I didn't anticipate stumbling into, I will admit. We had a chanter in the previous game, and we've got a druid with us now. So I kind of think that maybe a druid chanter might be quite interesting. I know I didn't plan on going multi-class with the characters that we were given by the game, but it is kind of tempting. Although, I mean, a pure chanter we're definitely not going druid, that's one thing. So it's a choice between chanter or theurge, druid chanter. I could technically do a very quick bit of research here off camera and come back, but I'm going to make a blind decision here and stick with it. Do you know what? I'm gonna try it. Just because we've played a chanter in the previous game. I know obviously this is a different game and stuff, but we've played chanter before. We've had a druid previously. I've got a druid now, sorry, in the party already. Yeah, let's try something a bit different. Let's try this druid chanter. And that also kind of begs the question, which I have been toying with for a little while, as to when exactly do we swap in the story characters that we've got for Nadog and Remgren, who of course are created characters, because we are missing out on conversations, we are missing out on having story characters present. So the answer to that is I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I specifically built those guys to kind of complement the party as it stands, and you know we balance quite well. And I'm looking forward to see how they develop with their builds. But for instance, I think Takehu here would be it's pretty much a straight swap for Remgren. To be honest, he would slot right in, being a kind of Druid Chanter. He'd fill a lot of the role that he's doing quite easily. So yeah, we'll have to think about that. And there's of course the Cypher on our ship that we need to get to know a bit better. So yeah, but it's good to have a choice. It's good to have selection. I think what the likelihood is that I'll end up swapping and changing according to mood, you know, and like in the first game, use them all as much as possible, you know, keep rotating people in and out. I'll keep a core of perhaps like Adair as the tank and the healer, and of course Fedoran, so it's basically these two slots that will mostly be rotating, Nadog and Remgrens. But anyway, there you go. Oh yeah, and there's Alorth. How can I forget Alorth? It's because we're still trying to bloody forgive him. We'll get there. Right. Okay. Wow. Okay, so a new companion, unexpected, but we haven't checked out this place properly, so we'll just have a bit of a nosy around. Well, Fedoran on his own for now. Let's leave the party there. We don't want everybody trampling on through this place.
Why not?
Nice pool in the middle. Very cool indeed. Okay, so this is some kind of vow or words to remember. I don't have time. Don't have time to read them all. This lovely little quiet contemplation area. Some kind of office. And there's a named character here. A young Hoana holds out his hands as if to catch an incoming missile. He winces in concentration, and an orb of water rises and floats mid-air. Sweat drips down his nose. He flinches, and in that instant the water loses all shape and splashes on the floor. Crestfallen, he sighs and drops his stance.
Did you need something?
He nods to you and shakes out his arms, readying himself for another try. Oh, yeah, you seem to be having some trouble.
I can feel the connection to Andra just like Myru taught me. But there's something missing. Maybe it's my form.
Oh, maybe if we had Takehu in the party, he'd offer some words of wisdom. Some boastful words of wisdom, no doubt, but nonetheless. So we might return here when he's in our party. Yeah, we don't have a clue, and we won't pretend otherwise.
That's okay. Persistence is everything, right?
Okay. Add it to the memory banks. Return here when we have Takehu. I'll have to figure. I'll have to listen back how she pronounced it.
Yeah?
The old guild master. Maybe she'll pronounce it for us now. Oh, look at that feature. That's fabulous. Oh, very nice. Okay, so all of this is classed as stealing, so we won't entertain the idea. Oh, and look, oh, guild ruins. Are we allowed to go down there?
Leave it to me.
Again, that might be something we do when we get to the other chap in our party. We'd feel less awkward exploring this place in more detail when we have one of their own amongst us, rather than without.
You have questions for me. Speak up, I say.
Okay, so we'll get a bit more information about the guild, if only to try and learn a bit more about our new companion.
Ikira, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Juana by the goddess Ngati. Hariki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know?
Yes, where do water shapers get their power?
Our art is the yield of the Juana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise.
Ah, and what do you do exactly?
We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay.
So these are the people that were in Port Marge, right? That stopped the storm, or tried to stop the storm.
Lately, we haven't experienced an artistic revival of sorts, thanks to our star pupil, Takehu.
Oh, okay, Takehu. There you go. Thank you, mate. I was struggling how to pronounce that.
We represent the best of Hwana achievement, no small responsibility. Akira, speak freely.
Okay, so yeah, we'll come back here when we have Takehu in the party,
Sure.
which will be before we do leave Nekataka, which is probably not going to be for a little while yet. There's still some things we need to do. Retrieve some gloves for a start, some shopping for a second, and anything else we pick up along the way for a third. Right, northern exit. And here we are, Serpents Crown. So, once we've fully explored the Serpents Crown, we've officially explored about 50% of Nekataka. What a huge place this is. 24 minutes of hiking up steps. It's a good job they had a hearty breakfast this morning. Looks like we've been stopped halfway. Or maybe not. It looked like we were stopped. No, we made it. Or perhaps I'm just that shocked that the party are so fit and healthy that they got there in double quick time. Right, before we go anywhere, let's take a quick look at the map. So we are at the top of Nekataka. And so we have, some more shopping. Una's Luxuries. We've got an estate. We've got another estate. That one looks a little bit more lavish. We've got some nice little areas here, and then of course the centerpiece, the Kahanga Palace, which is the main attraction here. So we'll kind of amble round, we'll have a walk around, we'll kind of explore the zone first, and then we'll go there last. Can't help but do a bit of sightseeing, you know. And a bit of shopping as well.
I'm sure I have the perfect gemstone to match.
Pearlescent Rhomboid Hellstone. What is that? Chance to reflect against spells. Ooh! So it's a stone that kind of circles the head of a wearer in a tight orbit. Very similar to a kind of a D&D. Is it an iron stone that you used to get in D&D? The iron stones? I mean, it's not officially a hat, and it would probably be quite irksome, this thing buzzing around your head like some kind of bug. Not Fedoran's cup of tea, I don't think. Ring of Boundless Stars. Grants a couple of extra spells, which in turn would free up us to memorize other spells, but we may get better rings than this. However, Fedoran, of course, is a collector of magical artifacts and grimoires, and a Ring of Boundless Stars is something that he would be quite interested, if not using, certainly keeping in his collection. So we'll add that to the shopping list then, for 5,000 coin. It's going to be a very expensive endeavour, this, isn't it? Fedoran's collections are going to be far more expansive than they were in the first game. Hats is still the priority, but now a few other things added to his list to collect as well. Ring of Minor Protection, Stone of Power, extra intellect and grants power surge. Could be handy for somebody. Amulet of Health, quite a basic thing. And then we've got gemstones, all very handy when it comes to crafting. So Boundless Stars definitely. mean, that's cheap enough, isn't it?
Eh?
Thank you.
No problem.
Considering there's like 3 major estates in this area, I was guessing that at least 2 of them are at loggerheads with each other. Isn't Agati's festival approaching soon? Oh, how cool is this? This music! It's a twist on the character creation and character upgrade theme, which I really, really like. How cool is that?
Hunter or prey?
So we've got a couple of people here.
Got it.
She looks like a merchant.
Do you seek companionship on your travels across the Deadfire? Why not take a little friend along?
Oh, is she a pet merchant?
We have many animals on Akira. You are sure...
She is a pet merchant. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, they're all pretty cheap as well. I still haven't googled the pet slicer thing. I don't know. I'm still kind of adverse to. I know it's a mechanic, but you know, I'm still adverse. Look at that. How can you like put a poor little piglet into a slicer and slice it up just to get its benefits that you can apply to a custom-made pet? Oh man. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Socrates. What a name as well. Pancake. Harley. Oh man. Chili, Atlas, Otto Starcat, Milks, Loki, Catherine von Kilian the cat, Ginger Demon, Bubble the cat, Elmo, Nebula. Ooh. Nice. Okay, pet merchant. We'll bear that in mind. A woman with skin like hardened sailcloth sits upright and stares off to the distance, her lips held in a tight and thoughtful pinch. She blinks and sits even straighter as you cross her view.
So, it will be you, then.
Her hand strays towards a sheaf at her side, but she holds your gaze evenly. Excuse me? What did you say?
You do not know what I talk of, Akira? Then I owe you an apology. I have collected many foes over the years. Some of them would sprint up the mountain to see me push through the jaws of the great eel.
Ah, she must have assumed we were going to attack her and kill her. Who are you exactly?
You do not recognize the great huntress of the archipelago? Ah, the candle of infamy burns too bright and too fast. As Nungata Whale Splitter, I cleared the jungles and seas alike of slippery creatures. I earned my foes later, when I hunted a deadlier prey.
Pirates?
Akira, often. I was a bounty hunter.
Oh.
It's been years since I tossed a harpoon. So now I stay abreast of what bounties need filling.
Oh, so it's
Mataru retirement.
another bounty hunter. Okay. Ah, well, you seem to be on your toes, expecting past jobs to come back and haunt you?
An occupational hazard, I say. Hunters do not play well with others.
Ever miss the hunt?
I miss traveling across the archipelago, answering to no one but my empty belly and purse. But this is a younger woman's game. Better that I step aside and make way for aspiring killers, Akira?
Yes. Well, seeing as I am here, and, well, just between you and me, I'm not too bad at hunting a bounty or two as well. What do you have available? I might be able to assist.
Interested in taking up the trade, are we? I hear you've done good work for a boko.
Ah.
We all start somewhere, I suppose. I warn you that I deal in the heads of the exceptionally dangerous. A lady needs standards, after all.
I see. Well, I assume exceptionally dangerous also means that, well, they're exceptionally well priced in terms of a reward?
You assume right, Hunter. Let's cut your teeth on clever Bena, infamous dwarf mystic of the obscure. A scavenger, I say. Picks off those who trust her for an evening, and then pockets their coin when she's bled them out.
How lovely.
Bena was seen traveling on an island due southwest of Hasongo. Ask away, Hunter.
Right then. I'm assuming it's pretty, yeah, it sounds like these are high-level bounties, which is fine. I'll just keep them added to the list. I don't think there's a time penalty.
Yeah.
I thank you, Nungata. I shall return once I have Baina's head.
Sure.
So is this the potential way in? No. Serpents Crown Guard. I mean, it could be. I wonder if it's that's the upper floor. Maybe that lower floor. Nice water feature. Okay, just an estate. I mean, very nice looking estate, but nothing for us to busy ourselves with at the second. She's just chilling out, looking at the water feature, just contemplating and reflecting. And why wouldn't you? Right, let's try this lower entrance first. Why? Come on now, come on, get a grip. Barging into people on the bridge, not very, very becoming.
If you come to do business, outsider, you are late.
Oh?
Your people are already inside, speaking with the Queen.
I'm assuming you mean the Valian Trading Company?
Your Count and the Royal Deadfire Company's Hasongo as well. They are in the throne room. If you should lose your way, follow the shouting.
Follow the shouting? Ah. Perhaps Fedoran can be the voice of reason. Oil of the law, anybody? How long does it last for? Oh, it's too late. We should have used it outside. A preemptive sip.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hasanoi's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
Okay. A middle-aged woman with a square jaw and tar-stained teeth meets his gaze.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
She pulls a slender pipe from her pocket, but at a look from the Queen's attendants, she puts it away.
You speak as if I could command the tides, while you are casting your blame in a wide net. Why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
A sizable Armawa standing by the throne takes a bold step forward and flares his nostrils at the assembled dignitaries. A hush falls over the room.
I say our guest forgets himself.
He clears his throat and sweeps his gaze from Nero to the rest of the room.
Brother, stand down.
Quite impressive. Up to this point, the Queen has studied the proceedings with an even expression. She half rises from her throne as she fixates on Prince Arui.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
As Arui lowers his head, the Queen slowly centers her gaze on you and leaves it there. Ah, finally.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
Though her mouth doesn't move, Onikaza's voice comes to you like an insistent memory nestled among your surface thoughts. We are not here to deliver a favourable omen, no, so we shall shake our head.
The gods remember the honest, and so do I. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves.
Uh-oh, what's she going to do? Though she turns to her dignitaries, you still feel her attention on you.
This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
Okay, blessed by Tangaloa. And I want to thought Lord Kohopu and Tangaloa were born before time existed. So Tangaloa is the equivalent of Berath, right? Underworld and Death? Maybe? Okay, well, we can read that in the encyclopedia later. Asking what Hasongo is.
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo.
She glowers, fidgeting for her pipe again. However, the frown that troubles her features suggests that there is something else of importance at Hasongo. Something she has chosen not to reveal.
I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
Fedoran gazing around the room. He likes being the centre of attention. He likes to build up the suspense. Just eyeing people up and contemplating his next words. The Valian Nero projects affluence with his fine garb and gems. Karu, the Roatayan Hazuni, stands rigidly watching the assembly through slitted eyes. She seems like someone who rarely leaves her back to a door. Onikaza, the Huana Queen, is all ease and comfort, though something in her bearing speaks of quiet, measured intensity. Her brother, standing away from proceedings, cannot hide a satisfied grin. The chaos of the hall appeals to him. Having taken stock of the main players in this gathering, come with a warning for the Queen.
How quaint of you to point this out in a room of warmongers and conspirators. You have the ear of the throne. Speak on, then.
Uck, I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's birth.
Oh, that little spectacle. I do apologise. I'd had a long day. Raising a hand for silence, Onikaza looks to her brother. He approaches, and they exchange a few words too quietly to hear. She lifts her gaze to you once more.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
Poor Marge suffered similar damage when Aeothus passed through.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
She looks at Adair the way one would look at an especially rabid but fascinating animal.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court.
Bereth herself sent me to track him down.
The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you.
Her tone is amused, her expression is not.
Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain. A fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire?
Yes. I plan on using Adropillars to track and ultimately confront Eothas.
How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy.
She turns a quiet glance to Nero's direction.
I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo.
She spreads her hands, calmly assured of her reasoning.
Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Her gaze wanders back to you only briefly.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Oh, are we getting another party member here? She inclines her chin at another woman standing nearby.
Ma'am.
A composed Armawa stands at attention, her furrowed brow cleaving down otherwise warm features. By her feet, a colourful bird preens itself without concern. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer.
Ah, so we need to find that chappie with the gloves.
Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
She sighs with resignation and nudges her bird affectionately with her toe.
Ac, perfito. Do you mean to stop Eothas by shooting him? Seri Pelagina will go with the Watcher.
Oh.
Show him how the Republic's handled things.
Oh, people just chucking all their their accomplices at us. Pelagina, you say? Huh? Well, we know about her. The guard behind him coughs politely.
Your Excellency, Pelagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
Nero silences the guard with a withering look and a sharp gesture.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Oh, are we actually we're not choosing between the two of them, are we? Can we take both of them? Well, we don't seem to be getting a choice between the two. It's either we're taking Maya or not. So, extra hands on deck? Extra companions? Of course. Always good to have a rifle on hand.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
Ishiza looks up at Maya and warbles something agreeable. I mean, if only for the fact that she's got this lovely-looking bird. And Jyoti seems impressed.
You're making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Okay, I'm thinking if we have turned down... Maybe it is only one of the two. The game didn't make that very clear, if that's the case. And we would prefer to ally with the Valian people here. So if that is the case, I may redo this bit, but pick the other option out of interest. And see what happens. Because if it's the choice between the two, I would probably go with Pallegina. We know her, we've seen her previously, we've adventured with her, we're kind of, you know, patriotic to a sense.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually.
It's not very clear, this.
In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
Huh. She glares briefly at Nero.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi?
She rises from her throne and the surrounding guards stand at immediate attention.
Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
She clears her throat and sweeps the room with a gaze.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
Banishes the dignitaries with a swift and unmistakable disguised wave. As Jyoti waves her lantern around like a fool. Right, okay, so I think we're going to end the session here. Okay. Oh, Ranger Scout, Geomancer, Ranger Wizard, Ranger Rogue. Or just plain... I think... Oh, actually Ranger class. I would prefer a Ranger class if it is a choice between her and Pallegina, who's a Paladin usually. I would prefer a Ranger, to be honest. So I may stick with this option, funnily enough. If it was a choice between the two. We're going to just go plain Ranger with this one. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Oh man, that's a tough decision. Pallegina would be better for roleplay purposes, but for gameplay purposes I would really like a Ranger. We may still get both. I may have misinterpreted that, but it's it wasn't clear. Let's put it that way. Ooh, look at that. Do we still have the opportunity to further speak with... No, the Queen has gone. He's still there, though.
No problem.
Upper floors. Should we really be just gallivanting around the palace? Probably not.
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
And how's that?
You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
You don't seem to take your rivals very seriously.
How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds? I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked.
Loyal service, you say? What kind of loyal service did you have in mind?
My sister keeps a tight grip on the kataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet.
I've heard of this place.
Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence. Take this if you need proof.
He tosses you a silver medallion inscribed with Valian honorifics, the Envoy's badge. Once graced the neck of a Valian dignitary. And, a Valian Envoy medallion, for not using his knowledge here. The Republic's reward these for exemplary service. What are you doing in possession of it?
Akira, You are sharper than my guards for knowing this, I say. An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the Gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem. Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city.
A bit of detective work. Interesting. Anything else I should know? I've got to admit this does sound profitable. Fedoran, sort of, giving him a nod as if to say, if you get my meaning.
Yours is not a face that others will recognize. Let no one learn that you work for the crown. They say you're on familiar terms with Ngati's chosen son, Tekehu.
Ah. News does indeed travel fast here. We've just picked him up this morning.
See that he joins you in the Gullet. He knows something of our troubles already.
Really? And what is that?
He gave me his confidence, I say. I leave the rest for him to disclose. Be on your guard in the Gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess.
Oh, wow.
What say, Watcher?
Okay, we can question him.
Ikera, both topics I know well.
Okay, well, we're not gonna. We are getting to the end of the session, so we'll conflab at a later time, perhaps when we've done a quest or two for him, or maybe when we just fancy getting a bit of further information. But for now, we've got a little bit to contemplate.
Yep, got it.
Or maybe we'll come back with Tekehu. We're not going to go and poking our noses around here. It's the Royal Palace. I don't think, as guests, we should really be overstaying our welcome for now. I like this little feature, though. Must admit. So as we step outside, it's time to reflect on what the hell's just happened. Right. Okay. So we have gathered, in today's session, 2 new companions. We have obtained another quest for the crown, no less. So that's bound to pay well. We also need to head to the Brass Citadel, which is... we need to go to the Brass Citadel, sorry, for 2 things now, because there's this one as well. So it seems as if the Brass Citadel is going to be our next port of call then, to be honest with you. But there's also now quests for the Gullet. So, yeah. Lots to keep us busy, and the main quest itself is a couple of levels above where we are, so a bit more side questing is definitely welcome. So there's plenty to keep us occupied. But yeah, between this session and the next one, I'm going to just double check, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, what the situation was with that choice we made. Is it that we have just now blocked out Pallegina? Does it affect our reputation with the Valians by choosing Mayor? It wasn't quite so clear. Wasn't quite so clear. But anyway, I'll have an answer by the next session. But yeah, in the next one we will be heading to the road east so that we can get to the Brass Citadel, because there's more work to be done. So join me in the next one for that. Until then, see you soon.